Welcome back to another video. This is JC Diaz. This episode of JC Diaz Uncensored is brought to you by no one. Just me, no sponsors. Who's going to win the elections in 2028? I've put together a list of the candidates so far for both the Democrats and the Republicans. And we will go over this list after we watch a small video which shows the different candidates for both parties. So we are going to go ahead and play the video, and I will be back in a couple of minutes with you guys. So go ahead and play the video.
2028 presidential race is starting to take shape, and the latest national polling averages are giving us a first look at the frontrunners. From Democrats to Republicans, here's the breakdown of every major candidate and what their numbers mean. Leading the Democratic field is California Governor Gavin Newsom with 25.7% support. Newsom's early lead shows that his record as governor, especially his handling of the economy, climate policies, and progressive reforms, is resonating with Democratic voters nationwide. His strong name recognition and fundraising network make him the candidate to beat. Following closely is Vice President Kamala Harris at 20.2%. Harris brings national experience in a proven campaign infrastructure. While she trails Newsom, her ties to the Democratic establishment and familiarity with voters give her a strong path to catching up as the primaries approach. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is holding 10.9% support. Buttigieg appeals to moderate and younger voters who are looking for pragmatic solutions and a fresh face in the Democratic field. However, he will need a strong primary strategy to break out of the mid-tier numbers. Progressive powerhouse Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sits at 8.9%, representing a younger, activist-driven base. AOC's numbers show that progressive policies like healthcare expansion, climate reform, and economic equity still have passionate support, but she faces challenges in building broader appeal across the entire Democratic electorate. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is currently at 4.8%. Shapiro has strong state-level credibility, but nationally he remains less well-known. His path forward will depend heavily on early primary states and media coverage. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker comes in at 3.7%. Pritzker has a strong financial backing and progressive credentials, but he faces stiff competition from higher-profile candidates. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, also at 3.7%, brings executive experience from a swing state. Beshear's challenge will be gaining national visibility beyond his regional appeal. On the Republican side, J.D. Vance dominates with a commanding 45.3%. Vance's message resonates with voters seeking a mix of economic populism and conservative cultural policies. This lead makes him the clear frontrunner, but the race is still early and other candidates could shake things up. Florida Senator Marco Rubio holds 10.9%. Rubio appeals to establishment conservatives and voters looking for foreign policy experience and legislative record. He faces an uphill battle to close the gap with Vance. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is at 9.4%, showing some erosion from previous cycles. His conservative record and governance style attract a dedicated base, but he is currently behind the frontrunner and will need to make strong moves in key early states. Donald Trump Jr., son of President Trump, has 8.6%. While he carries the family name, his campaign is still building momentum. His support suggests some loyalty among former Trump voters, but converting that into primary victories will be difficult. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley sits at 4.2%. Haley brings foreign policy experience and appeal to female Republican voters, but she remains far from the top of the pack. Environmental activist Robert Kennedy Jr. also holds 4.2%, drawing from voters concerned with healthcare, environment, and anti-establishment sentiments. He will need strong debate performances to gain traction. Finally, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is at 4%. Christie is known for his direct style and moderate Republican policies. While experienced, he faces challenges competing against Vance and the other prominent candidates. These numbers give us a fascinating look at the early state of the 2028 presidential race. Democrats are led by Gavin Newsom, with Kamala Harris trying to close the gap, while J.D. Vance dominates the Republican field. As the primaries approach, every poll, every debate, and every campaign move will matter.
And we are back with you after playing the video and watching who the different candidates are for the 2028 elections. I put together a list of the candidates you guys already saw on the video, and we are going to go over the candidates, and we will talk about what are the possibilities, and who is going to come up on top. As far as my opinion, my own personal opinion about the 2028 election. So we'll start with the Democrats. So in first place, we have Gavin Newsom, right? He is leading all the candidates with 25.7%. Now, what is my thoughts about Gavin Newsom? I honestly believe Gavin has the most possibilities of being the nominee for the Democrats. I believe his stance on the economy, the job he's done in California, bringing California to be the fourth biggest economy in the entire world. Think about this. The fourth biggest economy in the entire world. And he's done a decent job of being the governor of California. He has been the one person who actually has stood up to the actual president, President Trump, right now. And he has been the voice of reason, or the voice that continues to stand up to Trump. Right behind him is Kamala Harris with 20.2%. I honestly don't see, she has a slim chance, but I don't see how she could surpass Gavin Newsom. And I'll explain why. I believe the Democrats actually made a damage to her political career by rushing her into running in the past elections. Joe Biden at the beginning said he wasn't going to run. Then in the last few months before the election, then he decides, yeah, I'm running. And we all saw that he was not capable of running anymore. Then all of a sudden they had to rush Kamala Harris into running for president. I think they did damage to her political career by rushing her in. She didn't have time to develop a full, campaign machine. She didn't have time to do that. She was rushed in, and she lost to the actual president, and she lost badly too. So I don't see, not only that, but I don't see America yet ready to have a woman president. I don't see it. The one that came the closest was Hillary at the time, Hillary Clinton. And in the end, you guys saw what happened. Trump ended up winning the first election. So I don't believe America is ready to have a woman president yet, as sad as it sounds. And I believe the Democrats may cause damage to her political career. Yes, she is going to run, but I don't see how she can surpass Gavin Newsom. Um, Third place, we have Pete Buttigieg with 10.9. I honestly don't think he has a backbone to stand up to Gavin Newsom either. He's run in the past and never made it out of the top 10. So I don't see how he has a backbone to run into Gavin Newsom. And then we have in fourth place, we have Ocasio Cortez, 8.9, 8.9. Again, America is not ready to have a woman president, especially a woman that is leaning towards, more social stuff, socialism. And I don't see how she can surpass Gavin Newsom either. Her ideas, universal health care, that sounds pretty good. Um, but most Americans are still not ready for that. And I don't ask me how to explain that, but it's just what I've seen, what I've heard from different people. The minute you mention, she might be popular with her constituency, um, but the minute you bring up the name Ocasio Cortez, most conservatives are like, nah, that's not gonna happen. And remember, who is the majority? Remember, who is the majority in this country? Um, we also have Josh Shapiro with 4.8, JB Pritzker 3.7, and Andy Bisher 3.7. Forget about those last three. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It sounds mean, but forget about them. They're not cracking 5%. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So that's for the Democrats. Now on the Republican side, we have JD Vance with 45.3% with a huge lead over everybody else. JD Vance is a continuance or in a younger version of Trump, pretty much. If should we elect JD Vance, we will have a continuance and an extension of Trump in the presidency. The only difference is will be a younger version. That's the only difference. JD Vance right now is the vice president. He aligns 100% with whatever Trump says. So whatever policies is Trump enacting right now, and if they work at the end, that's what's going to influence the voters to vote for JD Vance. And honestly, it's all going to depend on how Trump's economy at the end, affordability for the American people. It's all going to come down to affordability. How is the economy doing? Are my groceries lower? Is gas lower? Am I able to save some money? Am I able to provide for my family? That's what it's going to come down to. You cannot deny that Trump has done a great job of the immigration, deporting the illegals, even though the way that he's gone about it is a little bit extremist, but he has done the job. Like, we've been talking about immigration policies for the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years, and nobody ever did anything about it. They were all talk. And in the end, even though I don't agree with the way he's going about it, because it is extremist, but he is doing the job. He's doing what he told you he was going to do. He is doing what he told us he was going to do. He is deporting the illegals. They're not even being given a chance to for easy path to citizenship. But whether we agree or not, he is doing the job about immigration. And a lot of people voted for him for immigration. So that is going to influence a lot whether JD Vance is the next president. whether the Republicans stay in power beyond Trump. In the second place, we have Marco Rubio. I honestly don't see a chance for Marco Rubio to surpass JD Vance. Marco Rubio already went at Trump. Trump literally dismantled Marco Rubio in the first election and the second election. And now Marco Rubio works for Trump. And that tells you everything you need to know about Marco Rubio. I don't have a lot to say about him. I think that he is, who he is. I think I saw Marco Rubio in a different light before in the first election, but now it's his light has dimmed down. And we have in the third place, we have Ron DeSantis, 9.4. I can see Ron DeSantis surpassing Marco Rubio for second place. But I cannot see Ron DeSantis getting past or getting by JD Vance either. His popularity has dimmed down too. He was at one point the top candidate who was running against Trump. But once Trump won, that was it for him. I don't see him surpassing JD Vance either. Donald Trump Jr., forget about it. Donald Trump Jr. ain't going anywhere. Yes, he has the last name Trump, but I promise you Donald Trump Jr. ain't going anywhere. I don't see. Have you heard any policies from Donald Trump Jr.? I haven't heard anything. So I don't see how he can become the next, president. Nikki Haley, forget about it. Forget about it. Again, America is not ready to have a woman president on neither side, Democrats or Republicans. Democrats, a little bit more, they're more acceptable. But Republicans, forget about it. America is not ready to have a woman president. I'm sorry, Nikki Haley. I'm sorry to tell you. But honestly, you're not going to win. It's not going to happen. We have Robert Kennedy, 4.2. Forget about him too. Not a chance in hell Robert Kennedy wins the presidency. I'm sorry, he has the last name Kennedy, but it's not going to happen. And then in the last place, we have Chris Christie. I don't even know why he's still running. I mean, this man has been running for how many years now? How many elections? And when do you not know, or when do you realize that it's over, that you're not going to win? I mean, I've known it's over for him. I've known this for a long time. I know Chris Christie will not be the next president of the United States. It's just not going to happen. Especially because he's gone at Trump a bunch of times. And you know that MAGA doesn't play with their leader, Trump. You know that. We all know that. Now, for the Democrats, I have as the candidate for president, once the primaries are done, I have Gavin Newsom. Now, is he going to become the next president of the United States? I honestly believe he has a chance. And I'm going to explain why. I believe Democrats, especially Latinos and minorities, mostly Latinos, Latinos make a big difference in elections. And the way this immigration wave has been handled, I know a lot of Latinos don't agree. So these Latinos who voted for Trump, these Latinos for Trump, I'm sure, I'm sure they'll vote blue next time. I might be wrong on this, but there is a slim chance that Gavin Newsom might win. There is a slim chance, but he better come up with some solutions. Because see, this is what happened in the last election and with Kamala Harris, right? And I understand she was rushed into these elections, but every time I watch a debate between Kamala Harris and Trump, we already know how Trump is and what he's bringing because he was the president before. But Kamala, Kamala Harris, I didn't see any answer to the questions, any solutions. You know, every time I watch a debate between her and Donald Trump, all I saw was her trying to outdo Trump. And that's where the Democrats got lost. The Democrats lost the election for not having a solution or answers to the questions of the American people. We already know how Trump is. So we don't want to know, oh, he is this, he is that. We don't want to know any of that. What I want to know is what are you going to do that's different than what he's offering to make the American people lives better? That's what I want to do. What are you going to do about the cost of groceries? What are you going to do about the cost of fuel? What are you going to do about the 401k? What are you bringing to the table for the American people? That's what we want to know. And I didn't see that from Kamala Harris. So far, Gavin Newsom, I know we are still far from the elections, but I haven't heard anything from him as to solutions for the American people. And I know we're still far from the elections. I know once he gets into the election mode, then we'll see what his plan is. But I promise you, if the Democrats don't put their solutions on the table and say, hey, this is what I have for the American people, the Republicans will stay in power. We want solutions. We want to know, what are you bringing, what are you putting on the table to bring solutions for the American people? And we didn't see that. We didn't see it from Kamala Harris. All this personal attacking each other, every candidate, is tiresome, honestly, from both sides. It is tiresome. I believe the American people want solutions to the actual problems, not candidates taking shots at each other. Now, on the other side, J.D. Vance, honestly, is if he's going to win the presidency, it depends on how Donald Trump does. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is gonna go now. This is the end of the year. He's gonna go into his second year of his second term. So far, the immigration policies, he is doing a good job about it, whether we like it or not. Now, is he doing it the right way? I don't agree with the way he's doing it. I think it's a little extremist, the way, some of these people are not even given a easy path to citizenship. I don't agree with some of the stuff, but that he's doing, actually addressing the immigration issue, he is. Nobody did anything before. Nobody did anything before. The previous presidents, the previous candidates, other than Obama is the one that has deported the most people out of all the presidents. But other than Obama and Trump, all the other ones were just all talk. And when Biden came in, forget about it. He did nothing. So when it comes to immigration, Trump gets an A. I'm gonna give him an A minus because he's going about it a little bit too extreme for me. But he is doing the job in immigration. Now everything else we still have to see. It's only been a year. The economy, everything is expensive right now. So he still has 3 more years to try and turn things around. And like I said at the beginning of the video, in the end, this is all going to be about affordability for the American people. Am I able to provide for my family? Am I able to buy groceries? Am I able to afford gas? Am I able to afford health insurance? What are your solutions for my health insurance, that my premium that keeps going up every year? So JD Vance having a chance to the presidency is directly 100% attached to how Donald Trump performs. So they better make sure to perform good, because Gavin Newsom still has a chance. Now, Gavin Newsom needs to come up with a plan and say, hey, these are my actual solutions to this problem, for the premium for health insurance. This is my solution. I don't want to hear this, oh, Trump did this and did that. He should have done this. He should have done that. We are tired of that. We want to hear solutions. We are tired of listening to both parties going at each other, calling each other's names, tearing each other apart, but not bringing up to the table the real solutions that the American people need. JD Vance, you better talk to your pal Trump, because your chance to become a president is directly attached on how the actual president, the current president right now, performs. And he still has 3 more years. So the ball is in your hands. I'm going to tell you this right now to the Democrats, right? If Trump can turn around the economy and groceries will come down and become more affordable, if gas continues to go down like it's been going down, if we don't get into another war, if our premiums, if he can do something to make premiums more affordable, the Republicans are staying in power. It's just the way it is. Whether you like it or not, the Republicans will stay in power. And he still has 3 more years. Now, I know Trump has all this controversy with the Epstein files and all that, but that's another video. That's another story. Now, yeah, that's another story. I'm not even going to get into it right now. But like I said before, the Democrats' point is, instead of name calling and telling me, the American people, hey, Trump is a fascist, Trump is Nazi, Trump is this, Trump is that, I want you to come and write down and say, hey, this is my solution for your health insurance. This is what we're going to do for it. For groceries, we're going to do this. For fuel, we're going to do this. If you cannot come with solutions and show the American people what is your solution, I promise you the Democrats will not win. And on the other side, JD Vance, your fate is directly attached to how President Trump performs the next 3 years. And honestly, Trump has 3 years, so the ball is in your park. The ball is in your park. If you cannot turn the economy around in 3 years, make groceries more affordable, health insurance come down, fuel keep coming down, don't get us into another war, If you cannot do that in 3 years, then I can see Gavin Newsom having a chance. Now, if Trump is able to perform and he changes everything around, all those categories that I just mentioned, the Republicans will stay in power beyond 2028. They will stay in power. And I know there's a lot of people that don't want them to win, but you got to give it to Trump. He is doing the job so far. And he still has 3 more years to perform. So, JD Vance and Gavin Newsom will be, this is my personal opinion, it will be Gavin Newsom and JD Vance running for president in 2028. And again, if the Democrats don't come with actual solutions, instead of name calling and trying to imitate Trump and trying to say Trump is this, Trump is that, you're not going anywhere. You're not. The American people are sick and tired. I know that the American people are sick and tired of name calling, division. I want to say we are ready to move on from that. I want to say that. And on the other side, depending on, again, how well Trump is going to perform. If he's able to, and it all comes down to affordability. That's what it is. These past elections were about immigration. Trump already is working on that. I believe the next elections is going to be about affordability for the American people. Can I afford groceries? Can I afford health insurance? Is my 401k doing good? Am I able to provide for my family with my salary? If Trump can address all those issues, JD Vance will be the next president of the United States. JD Vance, the Republicans will stay in power. So that's my thoughts for the day. I will see you guys in another video. This is JC Diaz Uncensored. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.